versus them. And before I even started, I was seeing a tower. Really, I was seeing the Eiffel Tower. So Paris could be significant, but also just like the concept of a tower. And I was kind of getting like hearing Bad Habits and like by Ed Sheeran and Suppression. So we'll see kind of how this like shakes out. Okay, first off, Seven of Swords, Ace of Cups. That's crazy. Emperor at the bottom. Let's get two more before we jump to conclusions. There was the Three of Coins sideways and the Page of Cups. And the Seven of Cups sideways and the Nine of Wands. Off rip, like I can already tell, one, because I just grabbed it, right? And like you see, like it's tilted more this way, that I want to read the Three of Coins as reversed. Like I'm getting the inkling for that. But then you have the Page of Cups, Seven of Cups, and Nine of Wands. Seven of Cups upright, Nine of Wands reversed. They came out together, so I'm going to take that as adding more to that Seven of Wands. Okay, and so this, I mean, this isn't that bad. I feel like this is just more of an energy that's youthful, dreamy, a little not always like in touch with reality, in the sense of kind of head in the clouds, but in a way that can kind of do harm. I want one more for this Ace of Cups before I get any further deeper into it. That's bliss, romantic success, new romance, flowing emotion, joy. That's love offer, you know, that's expansive, your, like expanding your heart, an opening of your heart chakra. Now that I say that, I mean, that's what it could be. Okay, permission to love. To find joy in things. Almost like an energy of okay. It's coming together. And more an energy of cheating yourself out of things. Do you know what I mean? Like sabotage, like self-sabotage. Not being who it is that you actually are, not giving into love and joy and play and like optimism, the sunny side of life, out of like sheer determination to see things badly, to go at things alone, when at your core you are a very like dreamy and like buoyant person, like a very vibrant personality that feels things very deeply. But I'm getting very like someone who kind of like always tries to see the best in people, and it's like almost kind of like choosing to stuff that down, choosing to ignore that, choosing to be like lost in the 3D and like the performance of things, and it making you like defensive and as if things were like a battlefield. And which is funny because before I even sat down to do this reading, like right before, I was hearing heartbreak warfare. Yeah, 9 of Swords reversed at the bottom of the deck here. Regret, emotional baggage, past life trauma, guilt, intensive, unresolved issues. But I was hearing heartbreak warfare, and I was watching videos of. It's funny. This kind of always coincides when I think about it. I was watching videos of storms, tornadoes. I find tornadoes and lightning storms to be very, very interesting. I find them actually to be very like breathtaking, and like you should have reverence for nature. But it is something that's like the phenomena that is having a tornado or like big lightning storms, like a supercell tornado. That is like magic. It's a feat of magic. It's the powerfulness of nature and how we do not stand a chance against nature. And with that, it's almost like you are fighting your true nature. And like it's kind of being revealed like through energy that you don't actually stand a chance. I'm getting chills as I say this. You don't actually stand a chance against like your own true nature. There's no more fighting it. It's like your heart is being opened up to like to where you've lacked focus, where you've been out of control, and just like overwhelmed with life and bogged down by baggage, where you've been cheating yourself, lying to yourself. You've gotten away with it all this time. I mean, I'm hearing, like in Scooby-Doo when they catch the monster, and then the monster's like, I could have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for somebody and your rotten dog and like all of that, you know what I mean? The mystery machine. I loved Scooby-Doo growing up. It's like a feeling though, like with this here at the bottom, it's like this is a weight, this is an attachment, an energetic leak that's kind of bogging you down, that you're kind of being like asked to confront. And I just started hearing jaded. I don't know, maybe love or life made you jaded or something. Yes, you have 2 cards here, the sun reversed and this summer solstice, which we are quite literally coming up on the summer solstice. It's like next week. That's crazy. It's like that's your thing. It's like over the last few weeks culminating to the summer solstice, it's this energy of, because it started in the 7 of Swords, it's this energy of you needing to let go of control, you needing to see that things are out of control for a reason, and like, and find the balance in that, find the beauty in that, the joy in that, kind of like it. So it makes sense that I had the storm like energy and whatnot, like imagery, I mean, because I just said that like storms are beautiful. Like I feel like they're like very, very beautiful things, and it's like there's beauty in chaos. I say this all the time, and that seems to kind of be the thing here. And so it's like you could also feel like, yes, I feel like you yourself have had this 7 of Swords energy of lying to yourself, getting away with like frost breach instances, wearing a mask yourself. But I also feel like oh, where was I going with that? It stopped for a reason. 9 of Cups reversed there. 999, closing out a cycle, because we have the 9 of Swords reversed, and then we have the 9 of Cups reversed, and we have the 9 of Wands, all of them reversed, mind you. So yeah, this is like things that are like heavily under review for you. I didn't complete it, but what I was saying was, mind you, the 9 of Wands is also reversed out here. self-indulgent, materialistic, selfish, imbalance, addiction, emptiness, overindulgence, excess. I think there's like an emphasis on emptiness. Thinking you have to do it alone, thinking you have to be strategic. You know, like viewing everything like heartbreak warfare sort of energy. Why do there have to be winners? Why does there have to be a winner and why does there have to be a loser? It's because I was hearing specifically the one where it's like, oh, I can't even remember. Bear with me. I am still getting my bearings from Judgment under the Ace of Cups. Yeah, it's time. It's time. It's like this is unavoidable. This is unavoidable. Ace of Cups, like, but a big thing here is also forgiveness. And so with this, I also kind of feel like there can be an energy of you feeling like you betrayed yourself, but also you feeling betrayed. And maybe that's why you felt the need to, you know, have a mask, be strategic, and kind of do everything on your own, hide your true nature, right? And it's okay. It's okay to like let, why did I just hear let freedom ring? It's okay to let your authentic self like come out. As a matter of fact, I randomly, one, if you didn't know, I have, oh, you can't really see it, I don't feel like really showing it. I have a snake tattoo right here. You know, shedding skin, transformation, rebirth, wisdom, all the things, the step before dragon, all the things, like snake, right? And mind you, it's on my left side. Your feminine, intuitive side, right? What you were receiving from the universe. I have two little cuts that I did not, like, I haven't hit myself at all. One, and they're both like an inch above my snake tattoo, right? One happened, and I was like, that's weird. And I noticed it, right? It doesn't hurt or anything. I just like noticed it. It's already healing. And then the very next day, so this was 2 days ago that I realized this, the very next day, there was a cut an inch above that one. So it's like you're being cut open in order for like all the things that don't serve you to like leak out, but also for like the things that do serve you to leak out, like who it is that you actually are leaking out. Like it's like, this is kind of gross, but like think of like a pressure valve, you know, where it just like the pressure builds up and builds up and then it just like bursts. It's like bursting through your skin to the point where it's like ripping through your skin, like, you know, like your little vessel. I'm sorry if that's gory or whatever, but you know what I'm hearing. I can't remember the actual name of the song, but it's the one that's like all the things she said, running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. And specifically the line where it's like, this is not enough. And speaking of that, 1414, speaking of that and things not being enough, that song is like peak for the heated rivalry, right? And it's definitely what I think about when I hear that song. Think of the scene that's happening. If you've seen Heated Rivalry, of course, think of the scene that's happening in Heated Rivalry when that song is playing. It is Shane and Ilya at a club, right? Ilya dancing with someone else, and Shane dancing with Rose while watching Ilya, right? Both of them pretending like they don't actually have like feelings for each other, like lying to themselves, but also, of course, this like bigger mask, right? This bigger secret, because no one knows that they're together or like have relations in a way. And then you cut to Rose and Shane going home, and Shane is quite literally like having sex with Rose, and like it's just like looking up and just like going through the motions because he's still lying to himself one, that he's not in love with Ilya, but like two, that he's not gay. He is like, he can't like admit that to himself. And then you have Ilya, who goes home alone, right? And yes, he is like openly bisexual. Not openly, he's like outwardly like mentally bisexual. He's not like actually out. So the larger secret is he's still hiding that. And for him, it's like going home to Russia could be like a death sentence for him because of his sexuality. So they consider that larger, like, you know, thing hanging over him. But then just the smaller thing of being a very like closed off person and protecting themselves and not really admitting how it is that you feel, having a hard time coming to grips with that. And so he's like in the shower, and I was like, the scene's like sexual, but it's like deeper than that, obviously. So he's like, you know, getting off in the shower by himself as he's specifically thinking about all the times that him and Shane have been together. Mind you, it's been like 10 years at that point that they've been like off and on, or like really just like hooking up. So like himself, this is not enough. Shane in bed with someone else. This lie, this life, this person, this identity that I'm holding, all of it, this is not enough. Do you know what I mean? So I think that was a long tangent. The point here though is, I think there's like some sort of like awakening that's happening, some sort of awakening, some sort of like evaluation of self, of where it is that you are like within your heart space, and how true it is to who it is that you like intrinsically are. It's like your core self. It has been incubating and incubating and incubating, like slowly biding its time. Think of it as like a plot of like think of this as like you know, like a sleeper cell that goes in to like infiltrate 1717, infiltrate a system or structure, and does it like, you know, dismantles from the inside out. It's like your core self has been dismantling you from the inside out, but like in the best way. And so things feel chaotic. You don't necessarily feel like yourself, but you're trying to like grasp onto straws and stuff, and it's like, no, baby, you are a page of cups. You're a dreamer. You're idealistic. You are intuitive, but also there's this youthful naivete to you in regards to like your emotions, how you handle emotions. And it can speak to a bit of like emotional immaturity, but emotional immaturity in the sense of more so inexperienced. And so like that's the kind of energy that I'm like picking up here. But also like the biggest thing that's pointing out to me here with the Judgment card, obviously like new spiritual story, but it's forgiveness. And also like I never get caught on mission, but like it can speak to obviously like past, present, future selves like converging into one, like meeting, you know what I mean? And it's like to align you to what it is that your actual mission is. Again, your intrinsic core, your true nature. So that's what you're experiencing right now. Like this is the like energy that's around you. Hold on, dropped. Okay, that's temperance reversed. And the biggest thing that popped out to me here was self-indulgence. Remember you had the 9 of Cups reversed at the bottom of the deck as well. And 4 of Coins reversed here. Excuse me. I want to put a pin in that self-indulgence. I do think that's something that needs to sort of be explored. But more so like you've been at it too long. You've been at it alone too long. It's like you're not learning. You're not alchemizing what it is that you've been through. So it's like you're not learning from your past mistakes, and you're not seeing that it's not actually better for you to do things alone, for you to have like this it's like a block, like like a block regarding commitment, but like commitment in all aspects. But what's also standing out to me here with that Three of Coins verse is third party friction. And I spoke about like at the very beginning an attachment. And so it doesn't have to be like an actual external like third party like thing. Could be, but I think it's more so like you, because right, you have like your core self, the reality of the world, and then of the world and how you're meant to engage in it, and then this like essence that is not all in line with who it is that you actually are. I saw a therapist talking about this. He was breaking down like Love Island or something, and he used the words, I might butcher them, but I don't know why, but it like look these words up or something. I don't know, I'll put them on the screen. Ego dystonic and egosonic, I think. But it's like ego dystonic is not acting in alignment with who you are, with like your innate self, right? Like not showing up in that way, your reality not matching who it is that you actually are because of how it is that you've been moving through the world for one reason or another. I think this also has just a lot to do with like your emotional state. Picture cards. That was the Hermit that wanted to come out but didn't. Are you avoiding looking within? Are you afraid of what you're going to find there? I said that a little sarcastically, I'm sorry. No wonder I said that. Five of Cups. So you're this romantic person, this sensitive, soft person. But it's bogged down by like, I would probably say like probably an overindulgence in grief and sadness and emotional baggage. Eight of Cups reverse. Eight of Cups is rough. Rougher than Five of Cups. Eight of Cups upright, you're walking away from things that do not serve you. It requires really looking within, right? Seeing what's been wishful thinking, seeing what's been a fantasy, what's been an illusion, right? And deciding you're gonna walk away from all of that, right? The Seven of Cups journey is there being so many things in front of you, and you like you having to contend with that. And then like you move on to the Eight of Cups, and it's like that's not like it's behind you, and that like you know that there are many paths, you know there are many ways that things can go, you know that things aren't always as they seem. And then it's the choice of like, okay, do I walk away from that or do I double down on it? And like Eight of Cups reversed is doubling down on it, being dishonest with yourself and others, and choosing to stick around in situations that do not serve you. And for you to have the Five of Cups here and the Six of Cups, and the Seven of Cups, with the Eight of Cups reversed at the bottom of the deck there. It's no wonder you're like in this limbo state, and it's also no wonder that you're being defensive and like you're overwhelmed and things are out of control, because you're fighting against, not only are you fighting against your own like true nature, you're fighting against like the way that things are being divinely orchestrated for you to like adjust and evolve and write a new story for yourself. Because the choice is there, the offer is there. Judgment, upright. There are three major arcana cards out here. One like cosmic timing card, but like three major arcana cards. only one of them is upright. It's Judgment. The Sun reversed and Temperance reversed. This is a choice. Seven of Cups. What are you afraid of? It's like whatever this little like cosmic restructuring that's been happening, right? That's supposed to culminate to the summer solstice that's coming up here. This is something that's been delayed and delayed and delayed, and it's like summer solstice is when it can no longer be delayed. And that's, I think that makes sense why I was seeing one, like I was seeing the Eiffel Tower, but like in my vision, I wasn't, the first thing in my mind wasn't Eiffel Tower. It was just tower, until I realized it's like things like crystallized and I came into focus that it was the Eiffel Tower. And with that own imagery here, with the Hangman reversed also coming under the Seven of Cups and that Nine of Wands reversed, it's like this can be a tower, or if you actually like zoom out and really like allow your focus to like clear and shift, you will see that this is like a beautiful thing, right? Like think about how the Eiffel Tower at night is like all lit up, and also just in the daytime, how it's something that's like highly sought after. Everyone wants to see it, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like you're delaying something. You're delaying this inevitability. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. Because of the uncertainty of it. Because the path forward is unclear. And you're waiting for it to clear, not understanding that it's not going to clear until you address the fact that this is something you need to walk away from. Nine of Wands reverse also speaks to retreating. This is not something that you need to stick, you know. This isn't something where it's like, okay, you have endured and you've endured and you've endured. You're almost at the final stretch. No, this is like taking your energy back. It's understanding when you have endured too much and it's overwhelmed you and it's not the right path. It's like disrupting your focus. That's what's going on with you. That's literally Page of Wands reverse. Find a new path out of ideas. Drained energy. It's like you're bullheadedly dead set on going about this a specific way, and it's not working for you. Avalanche. My ice is about to drop. It's like an impending avalanche. I want one more just to close it all out. Literally, as I was thinking that, I was like, two more, and then two more came out. Eight of Swords reversed and a Nine of Coins upright. Knight of Coins. You just need to get like very serious about liberating yourself. Free yourself. You feel like you're like suppressed. I don't even think you feel like you're suppressed. I don't even think you actually realize that you are suppressing yourself, like suppressing your true nature. And as I say, your true nature, literally the card here upright speaks to connecting with nature. Actual nature, your intrinsic nature. But this is a journey of practice, patience, of locking in and just doing what you got to do. Very different from Nine of Wands upright. I feel like more so like with Nine of Wands, you kind of know where it is that you're going, and one way or another. The Nine of Pentacles journey is so long, you forget that you're on it. You can kind of get twisted and tumbled, right? Like, kind of confused in where you are in the journey because it's so long. And it feels like it's never ending, but you don't give up. You have that stamina, right? Like, you know that if you keep taking one step in front of the other, and it's like you don't know what's coming out of this. You don't know if it's worth it, but you deep down know that you can't give up, that you can't back down. Is it a sense of not knowing what it is that you're fighting for, but knowing that you're fighting for something. You're like, this is happening for some reason, and it'll be real. You know what I mean? It's that kind of energy. And I think this is like just for yourself mentally. It's like whatever it is that's keeping you in this loop, understand that one, you're more aligned with like what it is that you should be doing than you think, but also understand that like this is a battle you were always meant to win. You were always meant to like win control of your mind again, to escape from whatever like self-imposed shackles there are, to see yourself as someone who can do it, who can put in the work, and who has what it takes. And it can be that I do feel like a bit of this is love related, in the sense of, you know, when like you're so heartbroken and you know that it's not gonna last forever, but it does in the moment still feel fairly never ending. It's like that energy. I'm hearing the lines, will beauty ever pay me a visit? Because my heart has limits. Was I made just to suffer? I need to know there's something more. As like nights are feeling endless. Endless, Dermot Kennedy. I'm gonna get you an animal card, and then I want to see what's around your heart space with all this grief. You have the cheetah at the bottom. That's solar energy, solar masculine energy. Stingray, knowing oneself. Stinging back, standing up for self. They're finicky today. For some reason, I was like, maybe if I turn around, almost like you just like turn around, literally. Shark. Circling around a truth. If that's not on the nose. And sharks do have very pointy noses. Ow. What did I say with judgment? Aligning your past, present, and future. You could just have like the sight, you know what I mean? Like there could be something that's elk. I'm gonna have to actually read that one, but I know it's like something in regards to perseverance or something. Don't give me the line. It could even be that you yourself, you did come out as the Page of Cups. All all cup court cards, you know what I mean, are psychic in one way or another. And it's almost as if this is part of it for you is in denying your true nature and how it is that you feel everything. Let's consider that maybe you are someone who is I don't know if I'm using this correctly, but psychosomatic. I think psychosomatic is more so like suffering because you like it's all in your head, but actually that kind of makes sense as to why I said that, psychosomatic. But what I mean with that is like you could be someone who's very like one of your strongest like clairs is clairsentience. Maybe you feel emotions, maybe like you feel a lot of energy, and maybe you've been closing your heart off to that amongst other things. The owl card also speaks to clear sight. I do feel like there's a clear like trajectory like laid out in front of you that you're ignoring. We're gonna read all of them, but we're gonna like gloss over shark and owl. Shark, directness, exposure, revealing true nature and desire. We've been talking about that. When in balance, intriguing, captivating, mysterious. When out of balance, sneaky, destructive. The shark is only dangerous when we don't acknowledge it. This card indicates that something big needs to be exposed, is lurking in the depths and creating tension. Shark energy takes over us when we are hesitant to be honest, to be totally ourselves, or to say what we really want. And going back to what I was saying with like, will beauty ever pay me a visit because my heart has limits? Was I made just to suffer? I mean, I don't know. Were you made just to suffer? That's like actually something that you have to like ask yourself. Because you don't have to continue down this path. As a matter of fact, you were like being divinely like led. The carpets wrote out for you to choose a different path. Are you going to? Owl, abundance, clairvoyance, treasures. The owl is a mysterious and otherworldly creature found in folklore from east to west. The white owl in this particular deck is the companion of the goddess Lakshmi and represents wealth, bounty, and good fortune. When the owl card appears, it's an omen or a boon, or it is an omen that a boon or treasure is on the way, either in spiritual or material form. With owlism on your side, you'll see and know exactly what to do with this boon and how it'll serve your dharma and bring you abundance. And I think for you, seeing and knowing is like this innate like feeling. Like think of like there being a tether to like your belly button, right? And it like you know, your gut pull, your gut instinct. You could be someone who's very like it could be that your sacral is a bit congested, a bit blocked. And here I'm focusing specifically on, like I know this is more red, but I'm seeing the combined two being like orange, obviously. But I think it's like there being this imbalance, this discord within your root and your solar, and it really affecting your sacral energy. And like because you're guided by your sacral. That's how you make sense of like of the world around you, of the things like in between the lines. But you're not rooted in who you are, so you don't like you're lacking that like confidence of trusting your intuition, which is funny because you don't really realize that like that coming up in and of itself is your intuition telling you that like you're not trusting your intuition and this is not the path for you. Like, you're getting the feeling. It's being shown by your block sacral. You're reading it wrong. You're seeing it wrong. Mask, false pretenses, cowardly. I'm not saying that you're a coward, but it can be hard to align with what it is that you truly want, who it is that you truly are. Before I read this, the rest of that song is coming up for a reason. The rest of that song, please go listen to that song. The rest of the end of the song is, there'll come a day we'll step outside and see the stars uncovered. Oh, once you stay, there's so much beauty that they can't take from us. All of this pain, all of this pain, all of this pain, oh God, it must mean something. And there's another line and another song that connects to this that may or may not come up for me. If not, I'll put it on the screen, maybe if I remember. But I remember, so I first heard that song. This has a point, I promise. What the point is, I don't know, but I do. I first heard that song when I saw him in concert in October, because it was a new song, right? It's on the new album, and he had performed 2 new songs, Endless. And I remember hearing that song, and it like fundamentally changed something within me. Because I knew that at that time I was like sitting in this like massive, mind you, relevance here. Pluto had just come out of retrograde. Pluto went direct 3 days before that, and I have a very prominent Pluto placement. Mind you, also right now, Pluto is retrograde. This is the cycle that's coming around again for a reason, to see things differently. But feeling the expanse of the void and like the endlessness of just like pain and grief. It can be suffocating. And especially when like Plutonian energy is at play, right? The underworld. It's very, very important to remember that, like, even if, oh, this might make me cry. Even if you don't understand the reasoning for something, even if it's never like consciously revealed to you, there is a reason. There is a reason. I hate to be that person who's like, there's always a point to suffering. There is, even if that point, I don't think that's relevant here, but just cover my bases here, even if that point is that it's random, or there's no point, or that's just the draw of the universe, how things shake out. I will speak to that in another video, because that will set me off on a tangent of my own universal truths, and that's not what we're here for right now. But I do think that it helps people to understand that sometimes the point is that there's no point at all, that things are random, but that we always grow from it in one way or another that's aligned with our destiny. And our human minds will not understand that. Our human intellect and emotional capacity, no matter how evolved we are not capable of understanding the like intricacies of the universe, of cosmic order, of cosmic law. We're not meant to. Elk. I feel like this is kind of you at your core. The elk represents the earth element in its masculine form. This means it provides underlying support and stability amidst life's changes. An elk personality, whether male or female, is fully established in themselves and knows their core values. They become known and respected for acting in ways that uphold those values. Sometimes the elk's ego can become inflated, but for the most part, they make damn good fathers, mothers, lovers, and friends. The world needs more elk energy. Stable, resilient, headstrong, the father. So it's like this you could be coming into a period of really being confronted with maybe how like external masculine energy has like failed you, and how in order for you to encounter more of that here in the earth, for you to like bring that up within yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like for you to heal your wounded feminine energy through like a true expression of your own masculine energy, being aligned with what it is that you like actually value, creating like structures and routines and boundaries for yourself, boundaries that are rooted in who it is that you actually are, what it is that you actually need, want, you know, what it is that you stand for or don't. You know what I mean? And that could be the biggest thing here, right? The thing that's like kind of encircling you. It's like one of these things are not like the other. Like if you zoom out of your life, it's like one of these things are not like the other. And that's the target that needs to be eliminated fully. I just got chills. And it's like time for you to be headstrong about certain things in a way that's loving and protecting, like, and protective for self. I had a thought the other day, kind of assessing my own life up until this point, and just how things have changed over the last 3 years, and just where I'm sitting today. And try not to cry. And it was the thought that I'm a person who has the capacity to understand a lot. Like sometimes the most like messed up of things, like not understand as in accept, as in think that it's like valid or whatever, but kind of understanding like I can see how people go down certain roads, why they make certain decisions. Whether or not I agree with those decisions is not really the point. It's that I can see why. Do you know what I mean? And it takes a certain level of empathy, of emotional like intellect, and a certain level of like acceptance, like true actual acceptance, looking at like the darkest parts of someone and still seeing the light in them, or seeing that like the darkest parts of someone isn't the sum total of who it is that they actually are. And like maybe that's relevant for you, but as I was like thinking about this, I literally like said out loud, just because I have a unique capacity to understand doesn't mean, oh, I might cry, I'm sorry, doesn't mean that I'm meant to withstand. And I burst into tears, like it was just, I don't know, it was like this dam breaking in me. It was something that like had been kind of, that I've known, that I've kind of lived by, but I don't know, really acknowledging it out loud then, one, like it hit me like full force, the ways in which I have withstood a lot of stuff, and how, one, I'm still here today, obviously, but it's like, you don't have to do that. Just because you have to, like, you're not a punching bag. Just because you have the capacity doesn't mean that like you have to make up for someone else's lack of capacity. But it also doesn't mean that you judge them for their lack of capacity. That's where your own elk energy comes in, where you are protective of yourself, where you create boundaries for yourself. And honestly, the elk being like the father card, and in the animal spirits deck, but also specifically for the earth element. Like maybe here in the earth, maybe you didn't have like the best example of a father, right? And so now you're having to be that for yourself. And it's hard, and it can feel like literally pulling teeth. Let's go back to the Eight of Swords reverse there and the Knight of Pentacles. I think that's like the kind of mental journey that you're on, understanding that you can do this. But also, like, I think the way that you let go of the self-doubt there is understanding that creating a structure for self, one that's completely rewiring your brain. You're undoing the old ways and inviting in new energy. But when you've never seen that model for you, when you've never experienced that, it's very, again, going back to me saying, just because I can understand a lot and have the capacity for a lot doesn't mean I need to withstand it. It's being protective of myself. It's having that boundary of like, no, I don't have to withstand everyone's like BS or whatever, their own trauma or whatever, right? Just because I understand what's happened with them doesn't mean that like I then have to be on the receiving end of that in a way that harms me. And in doing that, especially in the beginning, and I think this is why I mentioned, I'm trying not to like cry. I don't know why this is starting to make me emotional, but especially in the beginning, let's take it back to 2023. It was really hard for me to like set protective boundaries for myself, like really hard. It felt like I was evil for doing those things. Like I don't talk about this outwardly, but I had a really, really hard time with it. And then I had to kind of understand that like other people aren't protecting me in that way. So why am I protecting them when they're still causing me harm? And there's that line, there's drawing that boundary. But then there's also seeing it clearly and seeing, just because, like, it doesn't make them evil. They're not some evil person, they're not some bad person. It could be that they're not even intentionally doing this to you. You're just the byproduct, you're just a bystander, you're collateral damage and their own pain. And sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles, do you know what I mean? Anyway, octopus at the bottom of the deck there. I'm going to read the head of octopus because it actually ties completely into what it is that we've been talking about here. And then we'll move on to your heart space. But I feel like all this was incredibly relevant. Octopus is not before otter. Okay, yeah. Reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction. Actually, I have to read the entire thing. The octopus signifies a wonderfully perceptive mind paired with a lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in well-intended but messy relationships. The octopus entwines itself into other people's business and shares their own without restraint. They believe that's what it means to be close. If you notice after spending time with someone that you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of octopuses at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Be patient and firm. It may be a very old habit to change. Literally what I was saying with the Eight of Swords reversed there and the Knight of Pentacles. It's okay that you can't see a clear end in sight on this journey. It's like that's completely okay and it's completely normal. Oh, that was heavy. That was emotional. Which is funny because I feel lighter. When I sat down to do this reading, I know I'm gonna have to after this, and I'm gonna have to go rest. But right when I sat down to do this reading, I just had this feeling of unease. I started feeling bad, like very, very bad. Healing heart at the bottom here, healing from heartbreak. And the healing from heartbreak could be healing from the grief of understanding that there was a certain level of love, care, and protection that you never received, and that it was fucked. but now you are in a position to like give it to yourself. And also with that, there's another layer of grief and anger that comes with that as well, because it can be a feeling of like, why should I have to give this to myself? Like kind of angry that you have to do this for yourself because you didn't receive it. So like a grief that you have to do it for yourself, but then like an anger, because obviously, yeah, you want to love yourself, you want to protect yourself, but having to like learn how to do that, having to like claw your way out of the depths and like and really learn how to stop doubting self, to have belief in self, and to be rooted in who it is that you are, right? One, like all three of the lower chakras are, I think they're like what, more masculine energy, I think. Don't quote me on that. But especially like the root and the solar, I think that's especially something that's like developed and like made healthy through like a healthy masculine presence in your life, like your father. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like fathers like give their children confidence. That's why you see kids like that's why you see dads doing like, you know how dads do like the, sorry tangent, like you know how you see dads doing like the dumbest shit with their kids, like balancing their kid on one hand, or like throwing them up in the air, or making them jump from like a really high place, but catching them, showing them, hey, you can do hard things, you can be brave, and I'm always gonna be here to catch you. I'm always gonna be like your soft landing. And when you don't experience that, and you have to like figure that out on your own, like do that on your own, you know what I mean? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go back to that. I think I'm gonna explain that correctly. It's like you learn how to do it, but the 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 best like way that I can explain this is through an analogy. When a bone breaks and it heals wrong, so then there's corrective surgery or something that has to happen for it to then heal correctly, right? So it's like going back, breaking it again for it to heal again. It's that. And I don't know how to put that in words. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to like, put that in words other than this analogy. So if that resonated, it resonated. If it didn't, I'm sorry. But what is being activated around your heart? So this is, I would apologize for this being so long. This is nearly an hour. It's supposed to be you versus them. It might shape out that this is not at all. It could be a you versus the old you, like the new you that's emerging versus the old you. And it kind of seems like, I think it's actually what it is. It seems like it's damn near impossible to bridge that gap, and you don't understand that you are bridging the gap. You're just in the middle of it. You're just in the thick of it, where there's no clear end in sight. Think about when you're in a forest and there's snow literally everywhere. Not like a little bit of snow, like blankets of snow everywhere. All you see is snow for miles on end, and so it kind of gets you a little turned around. It's like that. It's that energy. What is around your heart space at this time? It's like you don't realize you're bridging the gap. It just looks a lot differently than you thought it would. Addiction, Grim Reaper, Axe. I mean, offer these first three cards, rough. Codependency, obsession, possession, controlling, having a blocker, restraint. We spoke about that. Grim Reaper, this relationship is over, no second chances, but also growing and transforming your life, right? A Grim Reaper on the old way. Sorry, the old Taylor can't come to the phone right now. Why? Because she's dead. Oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Just made me do. Look what you just made. And you know what? Speaking of that song, if you're feeling like embarrassed or like or shaming yourself for where you are and what it is that you have to do. Because also, along with anger and grief, there can be a level of shame that comes with that, of like, damn, I'm so defective that like I have to like give myself something that I never received. There's like a level of shame, like embarrassment, and that like an inherent sort of thing that rings in your head of like, I wasn't worthy of that. And so then it almost makes you feel like, well, why am I worthy of giving it to myself now? It's like, no, view it from a very like empowered way. Like, no, the old me is dead and gone. I've shattered the mirror, I've shattered the illusions, and a new me is being, reborn. Very interesting that that song came in mind, because that's a Reputation era, which is when she was like, after she was kind of like public enemy #1. So me to the bottom of the decade. This is Contracted, Faded. I will be acts, breakup, separation, stopping the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. I do think that there's a level of you being surrounded by like addictive personalities, because honestly, leading up to this just now, I've been hearing addicted. I can't remember who it's by, but it's like Rockman or something. I'm so addicted to all the things you do when you're going down on me in between the sheets. That gives very much devil, right? Like a slave to your impulses. And your impulse could have been of like energetic leaks of pouring yourself out for others and not protecting yourself, like protecting others, but like not protecting yourself, because that's like all you know, that's all you experience, is what you're used to, having to like be mindful of others, be thoughtful of others, but also like that being like your intrinsic nature, but then like that never being modeled back to you, you never being on the receiving end of that. So it's like this is what's breaking. This is the block that is breaking. This is what you're growing and transforming through. And to be honest, this is the relationship that's over. This is the no second chances. Actually, I think this is like, this reading was heavy, but I think this is really, really beautiful. I don't think this has to do with an outward masculine energy. Maybe we'll see, because there's 2 more cards to come out. We have to confirm this. You never know. But I really do think that even if there's an element of that, the thing here is how the things you have experienced are now causing you to face your own inner masculine energy, and like more also like it more so coming online. You know what I mean? Like, and the axe is just such like, especially because this is going to end up in your middle card, like these are the things that are ending in your life. And we talked about 999 closing out certain things. The old way is dead. Oh, way longer than I expected. Typically only like 5 on the top row, but we're gonna have 7. That's fine. Karmic relationship and mask. So putting a stop to relationships that trigger you, where you're caught up in this like chaotic loop of addiction, right? You can, because you can become addicted to chaos, right? Because your nervous system is so dysregulated. It's used to being dysregulated, so it seeks out things that dysregulates it, essentially. But also, you just like not hiding. Oh, there were 3. Not hiding your true feelings. This is a lot. Phoenix, Hand of Cards, Boat. Dead Centers, Karmic relationship and mask. Before, addiction, Grim Reaper, and Axe. putting an end to these karmic lessons, letting go and loving you, right? To constantly learning the same things through like your relationships where they're not being their true selves, so then you're not being your true self, to phoenixing out of this, a new phase, renewal, transformation through growth and a changed mind, like a changed mindset. Because you have to actively decide that you're done doing things the way that you did. Because at the end of the day, we have free will. It can be that, going back to what I said at the beginning of how the red carpet is like rolled out for you. Are you gonna choose it though? Because at the end of the day, we have free will. Your destiny, your fate, like it's one thing, but it can be prolonged, pushed off years, pushed off to different lifetimes. But for you, I do think this has been a long journey. That's why this is a long road. Chills. But there's progression here. There's closure. There's moving on. Receiving what it is that you actually need. There's this transformation. This fire has allowed you to transform. You don't see it. All of this pain, it must mean something, even if you don't see it. So now you're being asked to take a risk. Yes, this is strategically being kept from you. Again, so much at the bottom here. This is like in your soul contract. It was always meant to go this way. This is being kept away from you because you're a self-sabotager. You're codependent to the old. And so in part, to like break that, yes, you can make that decision. But again, like that's why the devil card is the devil, right? You are a slave to your impulses. And it takes a lot to break that. So sometimes maybe you're like truly like the rest of your path isn't revealed to you because you would fight it, even if that's something that you really wanted. You know how many people fight happiness, or like say things that they don't actually mean, to save face, to sabotage something, to have some semblance of control because they feel like, okay, if you watch Love Island right now, can't even bring this up, but if you watch Love Island, how Melanie was specifically saying that how through some of Shirley's experiences, so she felt like she kind of self-sabotaged on the front end with sincere ain't shit, but you know what I mean? Like she was having some sort of control of like feeling like this was gonna implode anyway, and so getting ahead of it. And in that way, it's like you have some sort of control. Like at least you did it to yourself instead of something happening to you. So something's in your hands, your own pain, because you're gonna you feel like you're gonna be in pain either way. So at least this is self-inflicted rather than someone doing this to you. Do you know what I mean? It's honestly a replaying of abandonment issues through self-abandonment, addiction. You know what? Actually, I just want one for these first three: addiction, Grim Reaper, and addicts. Just one, please. Photograph. Looking at your photos, missing you nostalgia. Make new memories. I have a thought on that. I want to see the rest first. Just one for karmic relationship and mask, please. It's two, but it didn't come out. Thank you. Hammer. So karmic relationship and mask. Taking a hammer to that, quite literally. It can be a card of sabotage, but it can also be a card of rebuilding through repetition, through persistence, working on it, making that choice. And that's what you're doing, letting go and loving you, dropping the mask, self-indulgence. Self-indulgence coming out. That's 2 different times self-indulgence has come up, but this card of self-indulgence is a focus on self, self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. Hand of cards. That was date. Okay, the clock. Falling on to self-indulgence. I think in 2 different ways. One, this is always needs to take time. Like, really allow this time for you to, like, focus on yourself, to be self-indulgent. I think that's something that's really, really important. But I also think because it's under hand of cards, being strategic, options, not showing hand, but also take a chance, there's something that's coming up that you're going to need to take a chance on. Something that's needed time for healing, for progress, for cycles. But both of these wanted to come out. Well, actually, soulmates was just kept being at the bottom of the deck, but this wanted to come out but didn't. So under receiving what you need, progression can be a card of arrival, like something arriving, but also moving on, and closure. Well, it speaks of closure issues, but you have soulmate and talking. Soul connection, partnership, agreement, soul contract. I view soulmates as, especially within this deck, it's something that's like, it's triggering your soul contract. It's always meant to happen, always meant to play out this way. Again, with clock, right? But talking with soulmate, interested, conversing more, awaited message arrives. It's funny because I never put out arriving on boat, and I did. And that being under boat. Text, call, email, hovering. I remember date wanted to come out but didn't. And underhand of cards. Something, like something. There's a decision that's gonna have to be made. Something's in the shadows, like something's lurking in the shadows. I want to quickly confirm these, and then I want to get the purple deck. And depending on what the purple deck, what comes out with the purple deck, I may or may not get connected energy. Photo, missing you, make new memories. Paradise, happiness, expands, joy, and liking each other, enjoying each other, oneness. Under missing you, nostalgia, looking at your photos, which is under this energy, this situation that was codependent, controlling, was a block, something that over and done, no second chances, because a pattern needed to be stopped, but was done through silent treatment or abandonment. Passion at the bottom here. Insane chemistry, liking each other equally. Funny that I just said that. Having fun. Hammer. Which we have hammer, clarifying, karmic relationship, and mask. Ooh, this flew out, and it flew out on top of paradise. Reminiscing, perception, learn from the past, make new memories, or make memories. Something that was both sabotaged and being rebuilt. being reminisced on. I mean, looking at your photos in camera, learn from the past as you're rebuilding. Learn from the past through repetition, karmic relationships, a loop until you learn from it, until you drop the mask. Self-indulgence. Also on to paradise. Okay, I kind of don't like it, but okay. This would have been some snake energy, which like isn't appalling. The snake isn't appalling. Funny that I mentioned my snake tattoo, which clearly this is like viewing snake in a very different way. Because Western culture does view snakes as like a bad omen. But again, phoenixing out of this is still under Phoenix. Competition, enemy, clever, malicious, looking over your shoulder, the other woman. That takes me back to that Seven of Swords energy. And that Three of Coins verse that also speaks to not learning from the past and also third-party attachments. The more that you focus on yourself, this isn't bad. The more that you focus on yourself, the more that snake energy will phoenix. It could be out of you, but really like out of your sphere, out of you. This is where you're learning from the past. This is where you're focused on joy, expansion. It could also speak to, just in the culmination of everything, there's a reason why forgiveness popped out with judgment. But let's see what confirms these last three real quick. Clock. That's too many. That was three. That's too many. Clock. Just give me one, please. Sunglasses wanted to come out again. Hold on. Okay, before I even reveal this is the second time the wedding rings has been at the bottom of the deck. At the beginning, it was, and that's why I was like, I'm gonna hold my horses and see what else comes out. Underclock 2 came out. So we're just gonna get one more, just overall, but not enough and kisses. It's 2 vastly different energies. So frustrated in relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego issues, jealousy, which is why someone would be kind of snakish, would kind of act like your enemy, be malicious. So this needed time, but also you not feeling enough, you lacking confidence and sabotaging and having fear. So taking a risk after being frustrated, so frustrated in a relationship, after lacking so much confidence, right? After taking time to heal, but also after taking time to heal, you're gonna need to take a chance here with kisses on unconditional loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. Last one. Talking. Nope. We'll just do both. Soulmates. God, this reading sound. I'm gonna take that as for both because that was 2 that came out. Man, we have quite the spread out here. So under soulmates and talking, you now have separation and Cupid's arrow. So under soul contract, right? Something is soul contracted. Receiving what you need from a soul contract after separation. there's an interest in conversing more, and you're being told to have faith because love is coming. Love call again at the bottom of the deck. The last time it was, I didn't say anything about it, like with wedding rings. It's almost like it even with that, it's almost like, again, like you're kind of getting a peek of this, like being kind of told this, right? For this to start kind of activating and like the recesses of your mind. But I'm even hiding like parts of it so that you don't like run like a scared rabbit or something. Okay, let's just get this. This energy will be coming soon. And you know what? We had summer solstice out. I want to see specifically. A few weeks, let go of control, celebrate life, have fun. For this, so we're gonna get what's coming between now and summer solstice. That's what, 8-ish days, a little over a week, a little under a week, maybe even a week exact. I don't know what today is. Okay, so between now and summer solstice, so the next 7 to 10 days, and we'll even take it out the next 2 weeks. The focus for the next 2 weeks, like what's coming. The focus and what's coming. Okay, first out, move on. Someone's not available, waste of time. Clearly with separation coming up and like all those issues, this is something coming around that you have to move on from. Everyone who watches me knows that I take gambling as taking a risk, not as actual addictions, unless divorce, so a breakup. It could be that I knew something like this was gonna happen, so I was waiting. It says it could be, I do think just still relevant for a few of you, because that summer solstice card speaks to letting go, have fun, and celebrating. So it could be that for some of you, understanding all of this that's been said up until now, and what's being triggered for you, excuse me, within the next 2 weeks, is seeing that someone is unavailable, right? Seeing an unwinnable situation for what it is, and for experiencing a breakup, or for like really moving on from a breakup, right? Like finally processing that and accepting it. Also like honeymoon, and it also says honeymoon phase, attending some, but also attending someone's wedding. You could be attending someone's wedding, but we all know the honeymoon phase in a relationship. Let's get one more for honeymoon. Date night. Gold digger. So there was day night gold digger, which is like feeling used. And then pregnancy, it's like expecting something. you could expect to feel used again. Like the person might approach you like wanting to like go on a date or something, you know, kind of like rekindle the honeymoon phase, see if that spark can be recreated, and that could be triggering for you, right? Like it can make you feel like maybe used. Mercury retrograde, confirming honeymoon. The honeymoon phase, putting things under review, electronic issues, communication issues. I'm seeing the hammer card again, but you know, I started hearing randomly. Hammer and a nail, stacking them bells. I'm dog tired by the 5 o'clock hour, but I'm ready to raise some hell. What song is that? Jess is getting ready. Got some Chevy. Gonna pick her up at 6. I hope she's gonna wear the jeans with the flare or something. Oh, the jeans with the tear that her mama never fixed. Moon comes up and the sun goes down. Finals on the edge of town. Twist stop, sip a little, pass it around. Dancing, some turn the radio up. That fireball whiskey, temptation in her. Ah, round here. Around here. Don't judge me. I'm a Georgia girl. It's like, yeah, I know country. Maybe you too listen to country music. But you know what? With like what I'm kind of hearing with that though a bit is look, I have experienced a bonfire or two. Yeah, you know, a little bonfire party, seeing your ex. Yeah, I genuinely feel like this is a niche experience. Like, maybe not, but like, it's just that energy of things kind of like rekindling when maybe they're not supposed to be necessarily in that sort of environment. Like moonshine's being passed around. You feeling like, you know, summer heat. It's a little cool. Got a little fire going. And yes, I know people who would do a bonfire in the summer. Or I don't know, maybe you live like in a beach town, like on a beach or something. Beach bonfire. Hilton Head, Tybee Island, Savannah. With fire sign here, I feel like there's something heating up here. And we are coming up on Mercury retrograde. I'm pretty sure we're about to enter a pre-shadow period for Mercury retrograde. Because I'm pretty sure Mercury goes retrograde like the 29th or the 30th. And then Jupiter goes into Leo. I think things are about to heat up. And I said in the next 2 weeks, things are about to get interesting. Let's get 2 more. That was such like specific imagery, the whole like bonfire thing, a callback to that. Also though, I haven't experienced, that was like high school, right? Like that specific like imagery and like energy that I was like thinking of there. And with Mercury retrograde, like with retrograde, you're meant to go and like review things to fix them, and I spoke about that earlier in the reading. I don't know, this also kind of gives a little bit childhood sweethearts, like high school sweethearts, high school lovers, and really maybe a relationship that like was like on again and off again. Maybe you were too young, had a lot going on. And the way that things were was always meant to burn, but you had that like introduction, that foundation. And there's like that like can't stay away from each other for too long sort of thing. Always like randomly like somehow some way like in each other's orbits, either through friend group, through like being in the same town, like you know what I mean. Even if you guys aren't actually crossing paths, but like your energy never really fully being split, even when you think so. They'll be back. So it's a date night and they'll be back. And that could also be because Cycles was at the bottom and someone else here now. But that could also be why this might make you feel like used or something, even if they like approach like just kind of like wanting to rekindle that spark. Because it's like we've been around this carousel, this ride or whatever analogy or thingy you want to use. Let me get that card that just fell. Okay, actually falling out, gambling. Something like it's risky business. It's risky business. Let's get one more. Caution, but patience. Find out more, don't overwork yourself. Oh, okay, let's confirm these before I even like pass any judgment. Move on. Actually coming out. Someone else commitment at the bottom here, crazy. Some being a waste of time because there was someone else in the middle there. Split to open your heart. Again, it's crazy. I seen it like a second ago, I just didn't say anything. It's giving love triangle, just a little bit. Or even maybe playing the field, playing both sides of something. Like trying to have your cake and eat it too. And that's why something that you have like, that's why it's something that you have to move on from. Or maybe you could have been the other person. Like I'm specifically seeing this plane. Maybe this is something that I could never fully like lift off and be like a true serious thing, because there was always someone else in the picture, whether you were the other person or they were kind of like, again, going back to a high school, college lover, like people do dumb stuff, right? They're young, they want to play a field. Okay, let's break up. But also for that select few of you, come into my mind for a reason. For that select few of you, that this is actually like, no, in this situation, you're gonna start to like, things are gonna start to unravel. You're gonna see that you need to move on. It could be you need to move on because there's someone else in the picture. You know what I mean? This is such an interesting energy. We have move on. So someone is unavailable. A waste of time is over. Divorce, experiencing a breakup. Someone else. Someone is in the middle, or someone is trying to sabotage this. Sabotage. And then, no, it's not the right time. So like clear signs of like, yeah, no, this just, no. No. But then central to that, you have honeymoon phase. But over Mercury retrograde, putting things in a review. For a specific few of you, it just so happens that during Mercury retrograde, you are going to like, you're going to like a wedding, a friend's wedding, and again, running in the same circles. They'll be there. And maybe this is how this like kicks off. Because vacation, like you will be traveling soon. And like maybe this is something that you have to like travel to. And there's a reason why beach came up before, because I am seeing like a beachy sort of vibe. Okay, honeymoon, commitment, but didn't come out. It's like this is in the background. Date night, they'll be back. Open your heart, commitment in the background. But at the forefront, it's like rough cards. And maybe, and again, going back to what I said here with the, sorry, this is so long. Going back to what I said here with the back cards, like what's over under soul. Again, maybe this is something that's like, that needs to be like trickled into your subconscious, so that you like subconsciously start to open up to this and you, like, be receptive to it, so you aren't like immediately shutting it down. I feel like this is gonna be a really long reading because I have to get their energy. Have to. Confession at the bottom here. Okay, honeymoon. That was gold digger. I think subtly, like, you're gonna feel used still. Spy. Someone's got their eye on you. Then that one that came up 3 times in the black deck. It could also be that like what they see here, like about you, makes them reconsider everything that they did before. Like kind of see you in a whole new light sort of energy. Communication would have been a very big thing for you guys, like communication issues, which, I mean, if you're both wearing masks. Okay, taking a risk, gambling. Taking a risk, gambling. Yes. Luck is on your side. Caution. So that was day night that I just showed. That's cycles that fell. We started out with cycles at the bottom here. Fate, karma, destiny. Something ending, something beginning is like what that card literally says. Yes, you need to have caution, right? A lot happened here, but it's understanding. Again, this was all meant to happen the way that it was meant to happen, like every single thing, for one reason or another. And then you have at the bottom, let go. Butterfly, transformation, transforming. Make room for the new beginning on its way to you now. So it's like, have caution, find out more information, but like, don't overwork yourself on this. Understand that things are going to move at the rate that they're meant to move, and that this is coming back around for a reason. Especially with it coming around during Mercury retrograde, with Pluto already retrograde. Not every retrograde affects everybody, and not every retrograde, just like cosmically, is just a huge harrowing thing or something. I do think this retrograde is a significant one. I do think this retrograde is a very significant one. I think it's going to set the tone for a lot. Also, it just came to mind. I'm just saying this. I'm literally seeing 2 people like fall into bed together. Remember, pregnancy wanted to come out, but didn't. If that's the route you want to go, you know, do what it is that you want to do. But be mindful. Slutty wedding sex is a thing. Be mindful. like a wedding is just very like it's whoever this collective is, like that's not like a, it's like either at this wedding you're gonna see that you need to move on, or like something's gonna come back around. Like the details of everything still apply. Like a wedding is like at the forefront of all of this. It's the culmination of this, and it is a wedding that's like taking place like in the next couple weeks. Because I also do feel like this is like the midway point of like a chain reaction of things that's going to culminate. And I started to say this at the very beginning of the reading, and I stopped myself, and I knew it was for a reason. This one is going to culminate this October. It's like this contract will be fully like rewritten come October, whatever that's supposed to mean for you. Likely something that was started. I just heard something like, in my trash like fall down. You know, like when your trash like settles, it's like the dust is going to settle come October, so you can like kind of see the landscape around you. Like it feels like a tower right now, but it's not. It's the Eiffel Tower. And I cannot explain that more in a way to convey what it is that I mean through that. You either get it or you don't. But there's definitely something that started out this past October. Like the transformation in you was triggered last October, and it is coming full circle this October. And I do think in one way or another, we didn't fully get into it, I do think in one way or another it has to do with your life path, your life purpose, but like clearing out a lot to align you to that. Because someone whose life is like synced with October's, that's Samhain. That's a witch. That's Hecate. 717. Very, very significant angel number for me. Also, like, she's Queen of Crossroads, but she's a chthonic, like deity dealing with the underworld. There's a major crossroads here. Stunning. I just want to quickly I want to get you an archetype card, just one, and then I want to quickly get this other energy because this is going on 2 hours. Okay. I don't know, archetypal energy, collective needs to embody our reassurance, message for the next 2 weeks, what have you. Let it fly. That's way too many. But it is Apocalypse's Eros, the self, the dead end, the ring. That's very telling. Okay, just one, please. The Bardo. The liminal, the in-between, the transition, crossroads, literally. It is said that the Bardo is a place between this life and the next, a liminal realm through which souls pass. Envisioning this inherently mysterious space creates the potential for us to rise above the concerns of this world and see our relationship through a cosmic and timeless lens. Literally, everything I say is for a freaking reason. We may receive messages from those who are no longer with us or see visions of lives not yet lived. In the Bardo, there is the potential to forgive the unforgivable, to say the unsaid, to see the unseen, and to love the unloved, to let go of all things that cause us pain. The Bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open us to higher wisdom. Its energy does not belong to Earth as we know it, but rather to the cosmic network of which we are a single thread. When light, spaciousness, grace, forgiveness, truth. When dark, torment, dislocation, hallucination, transience. The Bardo is not to be feared. Take advantage of its energy by recognizing what needs to be resolved. Trust there is a message for you from the beyond. Who is speaking? Go ahead and listen. It's relevant, so I'm going to get into it. The fact that those 5 cards came out, Apocalypses, the Self, what was it? The Dead End. Apocalypses, the Self, the Dead End. Oh, no, Apocalypses. Eros, the Self, the Dead End, the Ring. Let's just go through all of them. And I'm just going to quickly go through all of them, and you can make sense of it however it is that you want to make sense of it. Like whatever it like clicks in your head. Apocalypses is, it is an unveiling. It is like not really like removing the shiny veneer, but it's like moving the curtain. Deception being like revealed to you, however that looks. And that deception is typically shown through a tower, like a tower of sorts, and then a regeneration and the pain of that regeneration. Going back to everything that I said about the Father and everything, think about that. Eros, the root of desire itself, what it is that you actually want, right? But you have to strip down to be your authentic self before you like, so that you can see what it is you actually want. Go after it and let it come to you, right? You're in resonance, right? The self, explanatory. The self is literally seeing the self behind the self, to like your true intrinsic self, right? Your soul self, and a window to a deeper aspect of you is opening, is being revealed. Is, you know, you're being asked to go down that path. The dead end is quite literally the like epitome of, as one door closes, another is opening. Like you think that like this is the end stop, but at the end stop is the beginning of something. Understanding that like you see that like you feel like there's no way out of this, but it's because it's birthing something else that you cannot see, that you're not meant to see in that moment. And the ring, one can speak to receiving an actual ring, going back to how wedding is very significant, how within this deck wedding rings kept popping up, which for me is a card of divine union. I think that's kind of on the table. There's a reason twin flames didn't come out. There's a reason wedding rings or even engagement ring didn't actually come out. But I do think like wedding rings in some capacity, very, very significant. I'm gonna say, okay, I just had a thought, but hold on. But rings, one can speak to you receiving a ring, like a physical ring very soon, but it really speaks to the connectivity of us all, like how we're like the flow of everything. Not really the flow, hold on, I'm not explaining that correctly. Like in my head, but the infinite, the wheel, the connection. Yeah, connectedness, humility, sacred cycles. That's what I meant. Like how everything's like cyclical and circular. Like it circles back around. There's a circuitry in all meanings of life. And then I say that this is something that was coming back around to be done in a different way, for a new contract to be signed. But it also speaks to respecting the sacred cycles of life and of the universe. Going back to what I said about certain things don't need to like make sense. Going to sacred cycles, if you can't like anticipate, have faith in, or anything like in anything else, have faith in the fact that life is going to ebb and life is going to flow. That's just the nature of life. There are good times and there are bad times. And that's also why like sometimes there doesn't need to be like some big reason for it. It's just like that is just the natural balance of life. We need pain to really appreciate like joy and happiness. We also need pain for growth, right? There are times where we're meant to grow, and then there are times where we're meant to just like be content and be happy and whatnot. It doesn't mean that you can't be happy during growth, but you get what I'm saying. So this in between state, this is for all of this, for things to be revealed, like the true you to be revealed, and for you to like respect the sacred cycles, and also just like the sacred cycles of your cycle, someone else's cycle, and just how like if we think just zoom out of the twin flame journey, the specifics are different from like people to people, but the journey itself, the point of that journey is pretty much like cut and dry the same thing, right? The sacred cycles of life, the sacred cycles of ascension, how things are so back around and around for us to like learn and grow through and move through. I always say those are like one of my favorite mediums on here. She always says life doesn't get better, we get easier. Like life doesn't get easier, we get better. And that goes back to things ebbing and flowing. Like shit's gonna get hard sometimes. It's not that things stop being hard. It's just that like you build your capacity, you stretch your capacity to deal with it, to handle it. That just is what it is. I'm only gonna get like 3 cards for this person, maybe 5, just because I said that I would. But this reading's already like 2 hours long, and I really don't see a point. But let's see. Actually, I'm gonna pull from a few different places. Hold on. I'm gonna cleanse this out really quickly, so I can just, because I'm not gonna fully get into it, I'm gonna pull from a lot of different decks to see what's going on and go from there. So hold on. Okay. Let's get disconnected energy. How to shine right now. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Protect energy healing. Okay. Reactivate again. Oh, that is way too many. We're gonna redo that one. You're not gonna notice that. I wanna re-cleanse this one. Okay. What's being activated is connectives. Soul contract. Sometimes because this deck pulls on like your soul contracts and like destiny lines and stuff, the energy can like very much linger. 1, 2 more. I'm trying to like just give you a nice little summation. Let me grab those. Okay, and Knight of Pentacles at the bottom here. Let's get their current energy. Temperance, Judgment, Two of Wands, Empress, Seven of Cups. Justice at the bottom here. Okay. Give me one more for Empress. Okay. We have a lot out here. You just have to trust that these are the actual freaking cards that are coming out. Within their own energy, like their current energy. Temperance, Judgment, Two of Wands, Empress, Seven of Cups. Clarifying Empress is the Magician. Typically, I would see the Empress as an outside force, but I'm actually seeing this as their own, especially because within the archetypes, the Queen came out, which is the Empress card there. I'm seeing this as their own internal feminine energy, especially because a lot else here speaks to that. But also here, the Magician, being able, like, being in touch with that part of them gives them like meaning. It gives them purpose and a way of like understanding what it is that they're fighting for, which then it gives them the like strength, the connection, the wherewithal to understand that they are the creator of their universe, that they can direct anything into their will. And this has been through like consistent like alchemization, like heavy emotional alchemization of rewriting their own story. Like honestly, this is like a bigger not like it's a comparison, but this is definitely like a bigger transformation than like for you, which probably was needed. They have 4 major arcana cards out like off rip. And so it's like making a path forward, making a plan, being rooted in this alchemy, in this judgment period that's happened, right? Evaluating self, understanding like what didn't work, and like and how they want to rewrite their story, what it is that needs forgiveness within self, within others, and how they need to move forward with that, right? Very much like a period of like enlightenment for them that's really helping them, where there seems like there was like no clear option, no clear choice, no clear like way to go here with the Seven of Cups. And we started out here like the Five of Wands almost came out because there was so much noise, so much conflicting noise within self. And so there was really this need to, and then with archetypes we have out the River, the Queen, the Shapeshifter. There was really this need to settle into some stillness, to let flow what needed to flow, and allowing yourself to flow. And the only way that you allow yourself to flow is when you sit in your like in feminine energy, when you embrace feminine energy, right? Receptivity, letting things flow, knowing what you need to direct, but also like letting things flow when they need to. So this is a big thing for him. Again, being able to see like with the Shapeshifter, like that's becoming formless, right? Allowing yourself to shift and transform. It can also be trickster energy, but it's because they're so good at shifting and adapting, right? Moving and grooving with the tides, with whatever way the river flows. Staying sovereign in self, though, right? Being rooted in something, having something to stand for, so they're not like falling for like just any old thing. Which I think when they were in like their wounded masculine energy, that's what it was, right? And needing to have control over so many things. But this is control in a different way, in a sovereign way. That's kind of been happening for them on the soul contract. And I asked how they're shining to the universe. Animal archetypes, you have the mouse, the swan, the crow. And then ask for a card that like culminates all 3. Cosmic egg. Boom. Wow. That's amazing. Um, the Cosmic Egg is the last card in the deck, and it's the final like spiritual card. It's the interconnectedness of everything, and in that way, you guys are mirroring a lot because that was something that was coming up for you as well. The mouse, though, like this would be someone who very much like has a huge like attention to detail, right? Very, I'm getting like Virgo energy. They don't have to actually be a Virgo, but I'm getting Virgo energy to the point where it can make you nitpicky. It can make you like overly stressed. It can exhaust your mind, lead you to burnout. Again, why they need to also bring in this feminine energy. Um, and needing like them needing to like kind of pick a project for themselves, like a way to channel this energy. And then you have the swan and the crow. The swan is like the epitome of elegance, of grace, graceful elegance, to be completely honest with you. And it also can speak to like an inner vision, like this inner beauty that's being unraveled within self. And maybe that's the project that they need to kind of focus on, right? The interconnectedness of everything, like why everything has a purpose and a place. And seeing the beauty in that in their own way. And like even with the crow here, zooming out, I said for the owl, like the your past, present, future aligning, that's actually the crow. And it's so funny that I like mixed up the two. Very similar but like different. This, you would know this person to be very like psychically inclined, even if they're not actually like practicing. Do you know what I mean? Like there's someone who is cosmically connected, and that's why the cosmic egg is coming out, because that's always been like the destiny that they've meant to like align with. And then like what's being illuminated within, also like being able to see reason in things, if that makes sense, like in their own journey, which is going to help with everything that's like what's being illuminated within their soul contract, and then like kind of what has been going on with them like in the background. So within what's being illuminated within their soul contract, you have paradise, which you had coffin, mirror, hammer, palm tree. So happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness. They're opening up to their own playfulness, right? Life is worth living. That was so off key, but you know that song. Um, maybe even like whatever. But coffin, endings bring new beginnings, just like with you. Just like with you. Growth, change, liberation, transition. That's how endings, bring these new beginnings through those things, and an embracing of happiness and joy. And that's what's being triggered for him. Mirroring each other, self-image, relationships reflect our wounds, introspection. You have that, like that's his central thing. Seeing how things were mirrored back to him, right? Like his own wounds were mirrored back to him. Learning how to choose happiness in the face of these endings, right? Growing through that. And again, hammer, sabotage, but rebuilding, reflecting how he was sabotaging, how things were like, just like on both ends. I'm speeding through this. But then there's palm tree. There's stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, flexibility. So this is someone who's like their energy is stabilizing. And I think their energy is stabilizing because they're getting in touch with their own personal why they're doing things, why things matter for them. Again, stand for something or you fall for anything. I repeat that a lot. And what that really means is know what you're rooted in, know what you're fighting for. Know like when you know what it is that you value, you align with that. You fight for the things that you value, and you don't just go for anything because it might not be aligned with like who it is that you intrinsically are, which is like something that was a huge focus for you as well. And then on the back end, we have ecstasy. I'm just going to run through these. Ecstasy, exhaustion, intimacy, finality, hoping, clarity, apology, longing, and then lusting, clarifying the road of intimacy and apology. I would really just say that like there was a huge focus on cheap thrills, but also like wanting that again with you, and you had coming out in yours someone wanting to make new memories, right, reflecting on past photos and stuff. And I think that there was a lot of clarity here, especially with the crow, of like being able to see the past, present, future converge in that, like seeing how perception shapes reality, and how like skewed perception rooted in trauma and inner child wounds, right? Like can really shape how it is that you like view the world, and how you move through the world, and how you open yourself up to the world, and seeing how all of that's connected and aligned, right? Again, going back to seeing the point of everything, of the grand scale of cosmos, like having that clarity and realizing just how much that was like depleting them, sorry. Again, with that mouse energy, nitpicky, overly detailed, right? Knowing how to really like channel that energy. And before, there was a huge channel in lusting and intimacy, right? Also, I think that there was a hint of like an edge of seeing this as something that was like forbidden, but also like treating you as something that was forbidden, something that needed to be kept quiet, right? Something that needed to be a secret. And maybe that's why you felt used a lot, right? Like used for only the intimacy and the lust, and like the longing was very superficial and rooted in lust, and the intimacy wasn't, it didn't have bones, finality, longing. I do think that's just pretty straightforward, right? Reflecting on how that view led to the ending of this, and how that needs to be like something that was closing out like an energy of longing and lusting. It you when you are caught up in repeating cycles, right, in loops of your inner child wounds, you can mistake longing and lusting and intimacy for true love, for devotion, and real intimacy and connection. And it's not. That's rooted in things that are unattainable, right? And it's rooted in lack. It's not rooted in something that's raw. It's why I mentioned bones. Literally hearing the song The Bones, Mary Moore's Hosier. When the bones are good, the rest doesn't matter. The paint can peel, the past can shatter. Let it break, sure, never remain the same. There ain't a crack in the foundation. Something. The house don't fall when the bones are good, essentially. The biggest thing here is, though, is that I think they know that they owe you an apology. I think that something is going to come up. And there's a release. It's releasing stuff out of the deck there. It's an energy of releasing all of this that no longer serves, releasing this longing, this lusting energy, right? This constant striving, because it's rooted in lack, and there being like a hole in self, and confronting that hole, and choosing to be sovereign in self. Queen and the Empress here. So it's funny how you, like, a major focus for you, we're dealing with your like wounded like father energy, creating that structure, being that father figure for yourself. And for them, it's the flip side. It's settling into their divine feminine, their empress energy, right? Their sovereignty, their grace, their elegance, their receptivity. And it could have caused them to like be very, very like harsh towards you. Again, with that the mouse energy can be very, it's detailed. Again, like take Virgo energy first, for example, and I'm wrapping it up here. People can, in unevolved Virgo, can do this to a detriment, but it's very easy to mistake Virgo energy for malicious intent, because Virgos are so meticulous, because Virgos are so detailed, and they seek out efficiency, right? And they see things for like, they see the faults in things very, very clearly, very, very easily, and they point it out, and that is the way that they show love. And sometimes it's it's always like necessarily, for the most part, unless it's uninvolved energy, like I said, it's always pretty much rooted in wanting to help you be better, help you be the person that you say that you want to be, right? But it can like just be nitpicky. It can be a lot to deal with, right? And it can really short out their own nervous system because they're overly worried about things that aren't within their control. And it's like you want to help, but then it's like find like a better outlet. I hope that makes sense here. So I'm trying to rush through that at the end. No, just get like really to close this out because Jesus, this is so long. I just want 3 for King of Swords here. I just want 3 for what this might look like when it initially comes in. We won't get into further than that. I don't see a point. Funny, the 5 of Wands reverse at the bottom here. 5 of Wands almost came out within their energy. 2 of Cups. We're gonna take it, but we're for one more. Two more, of course. 2 of Swords reversed. The Lovers reversed. So the first 2 cards that came out, the Tower and Death sideways. 2 of Cups sideways. 2 of Swords reversed. The Lovers reversed. Literally one more. Five of Cups reversed. I mean 5 of Cups sideways, but reversed. Regardless of how this goes, this is going to be shocking. It's going to be a shock to the system. Regardless of how this goes, and I think especially initially, it will feel like a tower. There's a reason why like the tower energy has like come up a lot in this. It is going to require like a total overhaul and change and energy. You both have done that separately, and then there's doing it together. Whatever that is meant to look like, right? And a coming together, being in sync, sharing mutual feelings, opening up for trust and vulnerability and love. A lot of this hinges on that, and opening up yourself, right? Being vulnerable. But also there's a need to a Swords reverse, the Lovers reverse. There's need to remember why this went the way that it did. Right? Like, do not ignore the red flags. Going back to that caution card. Do not ignore where you guys were misaligned. There needs to be like real true repair in that. And that's why the Tower of the Death and the Two of Cups can go either way, depending on how it is you guys handle this. And a lot of it is really rooted in this 5 of Cups energy. And can you let go of the past? There's a reason why at the beginning, before I even knew how this reading was going to shape out, I focused on forgiveness and then re-highlighted it, I'm pretty sure, here in their energy. Forgiveness is a very big thing here. Let go of the past. Be open to things changing. Did you just hear that? It was 2 honks for like confirmation. And we have 2, 2, 2 because we have the 2 of Cups, the 2 of Swords, and then the 2 of Wands out. So yeah, 2-hour and 15 long reading. If you listen to this entire thing, kudos to you. Anyway, yeah. If you'd like to get more in depth into this energy and how it aligns with like your specific energy, because yes, this was a collective reading. Email me, link in bio, email in bio, so we can figure out what's specifically being activated for you, how it is that you are meant to move through this, and how to help you from, you know, not screwing it up if that is what you so choose. If you need help with processing grief, opening yourself up, again, any of the things, book a reading. We'll dive into all of that for you. I love you all so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. I'm going to bed. I love you.